Yo, as much as I despise the New York Knicks for dispatching my Cleveland Cavaliers in such short order and in a very quick and unfriendly fashion, I can't lie, I'm kind of happy for not only that fan base, but for the Knicks in general, because they haven't been there in quite some time. And just as an objective observer of basketball, I know how long they have worked and toiled to get there. And organically speaking, at times, and not so much at others, with some of the big deals that they have reeled off over the years to get to where they are right now. But regardless, you got to give them props, because in a year where I think a lot of people were penciling in the Cleveland Cavaliers along with a number of other teams to take the reins in a gap year for the Boston Celtics, they got to where they wanted to. And they're representing the Eastern Conference in the NBA Finals. And then on the opposite end, I feel even better for the San Antonio Spurs and Victor Wembanyama and company, because of how long of a road they have had. Obviously, that is a storied franchise with Greg Popovich, Tim Duncan, Kawhi Leonard, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, David Robinson. There are so many different names to reel off over there. And for them, a somewhat smaller market, right? Maybe not as small as some teams in the NBA, but for them to get there in what is this, Wemby's third season, man. That speaks volumes about his impact, about some of the other stars that they have there. Stephon Castle is really looking like a very promising young talent. Obviously, Dylan Harper. There's so many big names over there as well, alongside some veteran presences. But at the end of the day, like, you see what they've been able to accomplish. You see the depth that they have there, and you couldn't help but be happy for them. But I gotta tell you, I am not sure that I am ready for the glazing that is due to occur with whoever wins this series, because for the New York Knicks, obviously being the big market that New York is, and in Madison Square Garden, and Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns, like, you just know that the NBA is loving this, because they're going to anoint whoever wins this series as like the next big thing. And obviously, Wimby, he doesn't need any more glaze than he has already gotten. People are ready to proclaim this dude, this young man, the GOAT already. But again, like, you've seen the impact that he has. It's kind of hard not to be appreciative of what he is already bringing to the table at such a young age. Wimby is the real deal, man. And obviously, I'm not putting him in GOAT territory, and I'm not even getting close to that as of right now. I think people are way too overboard with that. But you got to understand that what he is doing feels damn special. And on the opposite end, obviously, with Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges and, OG Anunoby, some of the other pieces they have over there, they've come a long way too. Now, obviously, it's not like they were built organically, but they got the right pieces that they needed. They didn't feel like they could accomplish it with pieces they had beforehand. They traded it in and out until they got the right configuration of guys and the timing was right. And now they find themselves in the NBA Finals, which is crazy. I didn't think that entering the season that we would be talking about these two teams. And to be quite honest with you, that's why you never just full on pencil anybody in as going to be the representative, because I think the majority of people probably would have told you that they thought the Oklahoma City Thunder would once again represent the West, and that's not the case. It was a very good matchup. You can definitely say that health played a factor with Jalen Williams dealing with his injury, and some other players over there in OKC having dealing with certain things. But again, right? Sometimes that just comes with the territory. As a Cavs fan, I know all too well about that with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love and Darius Garland and, whatever, what have you. But man, this is good for basketball. I don't have any other conclusion than that. As right now, I'm an objective observer. I don't have a horse in the race, but I'm ready to enjoy some high level hoops. And regardless if you're a fan of either team or not, you got to be really happy about this matchup. Because from a stylistic standpoint, I think that New York does match up pretty well with Wimby and company. Now, I know that Mitchell Robinson is dealing with a broken finger, but one of the things that we know that Wimby kind of struggles with at times is physicality, and Mitchell Robinson can definitely bring that to the table, assuming he's healthy enough to suit up. Karl Anthony Towns will do his best to pull him out to the perimeter. You got Jalen Brunson versus Stephon Castle and Harper and company. De'Aaron Fox. They have so many pieces over there that I'm not even mentioning. But again, this is a very good matchup, and I couldn't be any more excited about what we're about to get, just because I don't think anybody picked these two teams. And it feels good, because as huge of a talent Is massive of a talent as Shea Gilgeous Alexander is, as much as Chet Holmgren has, impacted things on the defensive side of the basketball, like Wimby. Wimby's just on another level because of his two-way play, and I can't wait to see how this plays out. But I don't know. You guys let me know what you feel about this matchup in the comments below. Do you think it's going to be the Knicks or the Spurs that emerge victorious in the NBA Finals?